Hello lovely people, I'm Stella from Stella's Yarn Universe. In this crochet tutorial we will make this little angel. I was thinking about my friend who really loves angels and I thought, oh, I want to make her a little guardian angel that she can take with her or just put up somewhere at a special place in her home. And so then I was thinking this actually makes a nice gift idea. I should share the pattern while I'm doing this. And so that's what I did. And before we get into, I just want to say, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future crochet tutorials. The next one will be a goat. I put up a poll recently and the goat won, so that will be next. Stay tuned for this. And so, without further ado, let's get started with this little angel. For this project, I'm using Shapius Katona, which is a 4-ply or fingering weight cotton yarn, but a DK or light worsted weight yarn would work just as well in combination with the 2.5mm hook, which is something in between a size B1 and C2. For most of you, I think C2 will work just fine, but if you tend to crochet quite loosely, I'd recommend going for B1. So, of course, you can also upscale this project. I often receive the question, can I make this in a bigger size? And yes, you absolutely can. You could, for example, use worsted or Aran weight yarn instead, in combination with a 3.5mm hook, which is a size E4. And you can upscale even further. Just make sure that you use a smaller size hook than what the yarn brand recommends, because we're crocheting amigurumi, and so we don't make garments or accessories, and so we want the stitches to be small and neat, so no fiber fill shows through our stitches. So when it comes to colors, we need skin tone of choice and a hair color of choice. Then we need some golden-like color for the halo and white for the wings. Then we also need fiber fill, scissors, pins, stitch marker, a yarn needle. We need some craft wire for the halo. Just a small piece is enough. And I'm using 5mm safety eyes, but you could also use any other size, or you could embroider the eyes instead. Completely up to you. So without further ado, let's get started. So our little angel is crocheted from top to bottom, and so we start with the head. And so begin with whatever skin tone you selected, and then we make a magic ring. So just use your preferred magic ring method. Sorry if this looks awkward. I don't have a desk, so I'm always sitting on the floor when recording the tutorials. And we start with 6 single crochet in a magic ring. And we start with 6 single crochet in the magic ring. Then we can take the stitch marker and place it in the first stitch. Close the magic ring. And so now it should be nice and easy to crochet in the first stitch for round 2. In round 2, we increase in all 6 stitches. So 2 single crochet in each stitch. And that's the round complete. So now we have 12 stitches. In round 3, we make 1 single crochet, and then an increase in the next stitch. So 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and we repeat this 5 more times, 6 times all together. And that's round 3 complete. So now our round has 18 stitches. In round 4, we increase some more. So now we start with 2 single crochet, and then we have an increase in every third stitch. And we repeat this 5 more times, 6 times in total. And that's round 4 done. Our round has now 24 stitches. In rounds 5 to 9, that's 5 rounds, we will single crochet 1 in each of these 24 stitches. So you can pause the video here and hit play once you completed these next 5 rounds, round 5 to 9, with 24 single crochet each. So that's rounds 5 to 9 done. In round 10, we start decreasing, and so we begin with 2 single crochet, and then we make an invisible decrease, so we go in the front loop of the next stitch and the front loop of the next stitch. Then we pick up the yarn and pull it through the 2 front loops, pick it up and pull it through the 2 remaining loops. And we repeat this 5 more times, 6 times all together. 2 single crochet and 1 decrease. And that's the round complete. So now our round is back down to 18 stitches. And I'm going to secure my last stitch now, because before we change color, it's a good time to attach the safety eyes. So the end of the round marks the back of our little doll, because that's where we will make a color change soon, and we want that to be hidden on the back. And so on the opposite side somewhere is where we want to insert the safety eyes. And so I'll either place them in between rounds 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Between round 6 and 7 would look better. So I'm carefully going to widen the gap with my scissors, really carefully, so that I don't damage any fibers. This just makes it a bit easier to get the eye in. Okay, that's one side done. I'm going to leave about 4 stitches space in between the eyes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, maybe here. So I think that looks all right. And it's on the opposite side of the stitch marker. Doesn't have to be exact, just more or less. So I'm going to secure them. And then we can continue crocheting. So we're now going to change colors to white. So we make 1 single crochet, starting with the old color, and then we take the new color. You can already make a little loop, but I just pull the yarn through like this, and then afterwards I tie the ends together. So now we have our color change done, and we can fasten off the old color. And just to secure everything, I'm going to make a double knot with these yarn ends, and then we can hide them inside the head so they won't get in the way. So now we just complete the round by making 1 single crochet in each of the remaining 17 stitches. In round 12, we start increasing again. And so we begin with 1 single crochet, then we make an increase, then we have 2 single crochet, and increase again. And we repeat this 4 more times, the 2 single crochet and 1 increase, so that we have 5 repetitions all together. That's 2 single crochet and 1 increase. Now we should have 1 stitch left in the round, and we'll make a single crochet in there. So in the next round, we increase a little more. And so here we start with 3 single crochet, and then we make an increase, and we repeat this 5 more times, 6 times in total. Almost there. Now we make our last increase and the last stitch. And now we have a stitch count of 30. Pulling my loop out a little because now is a good time to fill the head with fiber fill before we crochet further, so that we can make sure that the fiber fill goes everywhere around and between the safety eyes so that the head gets a cute round shape. So I'm just making this, dividing this in small portions so that I can distribute it evenly. In the next 7 rounds, rounds 14 to 20, we will single crochet 1 in each of the 30 stitches. So once again, you can pause the video and hit play once you crochet 7 rounds of 30 single crochet. Rounds 14 to 20, or 7 rounds of 30 single crochet, are completed now. And in round 21, we will decrease, and we will also only crochet in the back loops. And so we start with 3 single crochet in the back loops only. And now we have a decrease in the back loops only. And so for this, we go in the next back loop. And to easily get in the next back loop, we can get our hook in between the front and back loop of the next stitch and then turn it 180 degrees. And this way we can pick it up quite easily. So then we pick up the yarn and pull it through the 2 back loops and pick it up again to pull it through the 2 remaining loops. We repeat this series 5 more times, 6 times altogether. So 3 single crochet in the back loops, keep splitting the yarn here. That's it. And another back loop decrease. After some practice, it might work to just twist the hook a bit to get it in the second back loop for the decrease. I just noticed that I had a stitch missing, so I had to fix that first. So now I can do my last 3 stitches in the back loops. And the last back loop decrease. And that's the round complete. So now it's a good opportunity to fill the body with fiber fill before we crochet our last few rounds and close it. Just make sure not to overfill it, because what we are crocheting now should be a flat surface so that our little angel can stand, unless you want to hang him somewhere so that he can fly. But who knows, maybe you like to put him somewhere, and so it's best to make this flat enough. So maybe I'll add a little bit more, and that should be enough. We can do a bit more, but that's it now. So in the next round we can continue crocheting normally in both loops. We have 24 stitches now, and we start with 2 single crochet. Then we have a decrease, this time a regular one in the front loops, regular invisible decrease, and we repeat this, 2 single crochet, and 1 decrease. Now 4 more times, 6 times in total. Now our round has 18 stitches, and in the next round we single crochet 1, and then we make a decrease. And single crochet 1 and make a decrease. Again, we repeat this 6 times all together. One single crochet, 1 decrease. And now our stitch count is down to 12, and we have one round to go. So, well, let's not use the stitch marker anymore. In this last round, we make 6 decreases in a row. So I just like to squeeze everything together to easily get in the front loops. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. And so we can fasten off now. Now we need our yarn needle. And we go through the front loops of all 6 stitches. Pull that tight. Now we go through the center of this last round. And I'm going to go through to the back of my little angel. And now we can pull the yarn end in. So even if it's not flat and we get a little cavity here on the bottom, that's a good thing because that helps our little doll stand. And so we can pull that nice and tight. If you use acrylic yarn, never pull too tight though. I hope I didn't say this too late. With cotton yarn, it's usually not a problem because it's quite sturdy. And so now we can weave in this yarn end. And cut that off. So this is the head and body done. So now we can go ahead and crochet the hair. So let's crochet the hair next. So use whichever color you selected for the hair. And we're going to start with a magic ring again. And round 1 again has 6 single crochet made in the magic ring. Then we place a stitch marker in the first stitch here, close the magic ring, and remove the stitch marker. And in round 2 we have 6 increases. That's round 2 done. In round 3 we increase some more, so we single crochet in the next stitch and then increase in the next. And we repeat this 5 more times. And so now we have a stitch count of 18, and in round 4 we start with 1 single crochet again, and then we increase in the next stitch, and then we make 2 single crochet, and increase in the next stitch. And we repeat the 2 single crochet and 1 increase 4 more times. 1, 2, increase, 3 more, 1, 2, increase, and now we have 1 stitch left in the round in which we make a single crochet. So now our round has 24 stitches, and in the next 3 rounds, rounds 5, 6, and 7, we single crochet 1 in each of these 24 stitches. So you can pause the video here and hit play once you completed the next 3 rounds of 24 single crochet. Rounds 5 to 7 are complete now, and so we can crochet the last round of the hair. And for this we start with 4 chains. And then we make a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. and then single crochet 1 in each of the remaining 2 chains. And then we make a slip stitch in the next stitch. Then we chain 4 again. And once more single crochet 3, starting in the second chain. And again slip stitch in the next stitch. And we repeat this once more, 4 chains. And 3 single crochet starting in the second chain. And a slip stitch in the next stitch here. Next we're going to make 3 chains and 2 single crochets starting in the second chain. And then we make a slip stitch in the next stitch here. Then we make 2 chains and a double crochet in the next stitch. And then we single crochet in the next stitch. And slip stitch in the next stitch. Now we single crochet in the next one. And here we make 4 chains again. And 3 single crochets starting in the second chain. And then we slip stitch in the next stitch of the round. Then we repeat this 4 chains and 3 single crochet. And then we make a slip stitch in the next stitch. And then we have 5 chains and 4 single crochet. And slip stitch in the next stitch. And we repeat this 2 more times, 5 chains and 4 single crochet. And slip stitch in the next stitch. Once more, 5 chains. Four single crochet, that's where the third one goes. And a slip stitch in the next stitch of the round. Then we have 4 chains and 3 single crochet, and a slip stitch in the next stitch. Once again, 4 chains and 3 single crochet. I keep going in the wrong chain. That's it. And now we finish with a single crochet in the next stitch. Then we have a slip stitch in the next stitch, a single crochet in the next one, a double crochet in the next stitch, then we chain 2 and make a slip stitch in the same stitch that we just made a double crochet in. And here we chain 3 and make 2 single crochets starting in the second chain. And then we have a slip stitch in the next stitch. Then we chain 4 and make 3 single crochet, and slip stitch in the next stitch of the round. And we repeat this 4 more times. 4 chains and 3 single crochet, and a slip stitch. And one last time, 4 chains, 3 single crochet, and a slip stitch in the last stitch. So now we need a long yarn end for sewing, and that's the hair done. Now we can make the little halo, and for this we need a 9 centimeter long piece of craft wire. This is about 3.5 inches long, and it's 1 millimeter thick. So first I'm going to bend the edges a bit, 2 centimeters on each side, so that's just under an inch, 0.8 inches. Just so that we know where to crochet. So this is what we'll use to attach the halo to the hair later on. And this is the part around which we will crochet. And so for this we need our orange, golden or yellow yarn. And so we start by making a little loop on our hook with a slip knot. And now we're going to crochet around this wire. And so I'm holding my hook with my loop on it on top of the wire, and then this yarn end goes around it. So now I'm pulling one loop through, and now we can start and work around the wire. So we just make single crochet stitches around the wire. So I'm going under the wire, pick up the yarn, pull it up, and then I pick up the yarn from above the wire and pull it through my loops to single crochet. So this way we make our single crochet stitches around the wire. So from under the wire we pick up the yarn and then pick it up a second time from over the wire. And so we make as many single crochet stitches as necessary to fill this 5 centimeter or 2-inch space from here to here, from this corner to this corner. So let's see how many this takes. I have 4 so far. So let's see, I think this might be enough. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You just make however many you need to cover this part. And we want it to be nicely covered without any gaps if possible. So let's bend our wire. We don't need this bend over edges anymore. Instead, we can now bend it into something a bit more than a half circle. Something like this. Just so that we can make sure that there are enough stitches. And I think that's looking good. So if you're happy with this, you can fasten off here. And we can set this aside until it's time to assemble. Now it's time to crochet the wings. And so we need our white yarn. And we start the same way with a magic ring and 6 single crochet in the magic ring. I'm using my stitch marker again in the first stitch so that I can crochet in it more easily now. In round 2, once again we have 6 increases. Now we have 12 stitches, and in the next round we make 1 single crochet and then an increase, and we repeat this 5 more times, alternating between single crochet and increase. That's round 3 done. In rounds 4 and 5, we single crochet 1 in each of these 18 stitches. So you can pause the video here and hit play once you completed the next 2 rounds of 18 single crochet. That's rounds 4 and 5 done. So now we're going to make the left wing first. And so we don't need this stitch marker anymore. And we're going to press both sides together with the last stitch. I'll loop on our hook here on one side. And now we make 6 chains. And then we make 5 slip stitches starting in the second chain from our hook. Now we are going to find the next stitch of the round, this one here, and we also want to insert our hook in the last stitch of the round, so this one here. So we go through both layers of the wing now and make a slip stitch. This is how it looks from the other side. And then we make 7 chains. And 6 slip stitches starting in the second chain. Then we go in the next stitch and the corresponding stitch on the other side, making a slip stitch through both layers of the wing. And we repeat this 2 more times. 7 chains and 6 slip stitches. And then we go through the next stitch and the one on the opposite side to make a slip stitch. 7 chains once more. And 6 slip stitches. And going through the next stitch and the one on the opposite side. Two slip stitch. Now we have 6 chains. And 5 slip stitches starting in the second chain. And again we go in the next stitch, and the one on the opposite side. Pick up the yarn, pull it through, and slip stitch. Then we have 6 chains again. And 5 slip stitches. And the slip stitch in the next stitch and the corresponding one. Oh, now we have 6 chains once more. And 5 slip stitches. And a slip stitch in the next stitch and the corresponding one on the other side. Now we have 5 chains and 4 slip stitches starting in the second chain. And a slip stitch in the next pair of stitches. And finally we chain 4 and make 3 slip stitches starting in the second chain. And then we have our final 2 stitches here. 2 slip stitch in. I'm just leaving this yarn end on one side. Make slip stitch. And now we need a long yarn end for sewing. So that's the little wing done. You can follow all of the same steps to create the second wing. If I said anything different before, then please ignore that. I tried to reverse the order of the feathers to make a symmetrical looking wing, but as a result, they pointed inward more than outward, and I wanted them both to point outward nicely as they do here. So one of them will have the wrong side facing outward, but I'm fine with that. That's to me not a big issue. It didn't look really good when the feathers were pointing in the other direction. So you can find the timestamp to crochet the second wing in the description box below. And then all that's left to do is assemble our little angel. So for this part we need 2 pins and our yarn needle and scissors. And so I'm actually starting with the wings. I find that easier because once the hair is on, there's not much more space to sew the wings on. And so let's pin them in place first. First, I'm going to pin on both actually to see and make sure that they have enough space. I'm gonna go a bit higher. So just assessing from all angles that you're happy with the placement. That's looking good to me. And so I'm starting with one side for now. So I'm going to remove this one. Just wanted to make sure they have this space they need. So the other pin goes in here. And now I'm going to sew along this side here. I was going to pick up that loop, but I think that's a yarn end that I've woven in. So I'm going for the next one here. Picking up one loop on the body and then on the wing. As close to the body as possible. Let's see if I can get this one. Let's go for that one. And I think that's enough already. So I'm moving to the bottom side here. Just going to remove the pins to make sure that it's firm enough. I actually need a little bit pinning down. So I leave 2 stitches space here and go back to the back, and then I just pick up some loops. Just pick up a loop on the wing, and then again one loop on the body. To attach it a little bit more firmly. And once more through the wing. And now I'm going to go down to the bottom side to weave in the yarn end. And then I'm just going to hide the other yarn end. Just going through the same spot. Make a double knot. Cut the ends short. And then I hide the rest like this. That's one side done. So now we can repeat all of these steps to attach the other wing. So the wings are attached now. And so next we can attach the little halo to the hair. And so I'm going to attach it in between rounds 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go through here with the wire, and then on the other side 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try this spot. So let's see. Now I think I need to move one stitch to the back. So here where we have our yarn ends, that's the back. So these are the sides, and this is how you can tell if it's attached symmetrical. And so we can always shape it a bit better later. Now we can focus on bending the wire in a way that doesn't come out. So I'm just turning it as much as possible. The other side as well. Let's see. So yeah, it's not moving now. So that's looking good. Now we just need to hide the yarn ends. Oh, and we want to make sure that the wire, doesn't go through the stitches. Okay. So we need our yarn needle now. And Now I'm going through the same stitch that the yarn that the wire that I inserted the wire in, same spot. Go through with the yarn, and the same thing on the other side. Same spot, and we can tie the yarn ends together, not too tightly. This should be enough. And we can cut these yarn ends a bit shorter and hide them inside the hair together with this magic ring end. And we only need our long yarn end for sewing. So now the hair can go on the head. So these I believe 7 strands, yeah, 7 go in the front. These 9 strands go in the back. Here we have the sides. So let's pin it on. So threading this on our yarn needle. And so with this part of the hair here, I don't attach it too carefully. It's a bit tricky with the wings on, but on the other hand, it would have been tricky to attach the wings with the hair, so I'll just make a larger stitch toward the front. Let's go through here. Just making sure that you go through both layers, the hair and the head. And I'm going through to this spot because that's where I want to stitch down some of these hair strands. So here I'm actually going through this lowest part because I want to stitch that to the head. I'm trying to just pick one tiny loop up. And then I go through here again, through this stitch, and then through the next stitch in the other direction, just to stitch this side of the hair on nicely. And through the head again. and through the hair again. And so if you like these front strands to look any particular way, you can stitch them down now. I'll stitch the first one here to the side a bit. And these I just leave as they are, so I'm just going through both layers here. I'm actually going to stitch this one in the other direction a bit, so I'm picking up a loop here and then a loop of this second strand from the left. Let's see how that looks. And a loop on the head again, and a loop on this last strand here. Back through the head. And then we're at the other side already. So I'm going through this stitch here. And then through the next stitch in the other direction. Ooh, there we go. And then let's see how I did this on the other side. Maybe this one. And here at the back, I'm just making really big stitches again. On the head, I make small stitches, but through the head, I make big stitches. And now the hair is attached all around, so now I'll just weave in this yarn end. So let's see if the halo needs adjusting. It's looking good. Now, if you like, you can add some blush or some gold eyeshadow or whatever you like. To give like an extra shine or some rosy cheeks to your little angel. So our little angel is complete now. Thank you so much for crocheting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this little project. If you did, please give this video a like for me and comment if you feel like it and share it with anyone who you think might enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, bye.